baby, 'cause every time I close my eyes it's you. And honey, I'd do anything.
Hey everyone, my name's Kene Ogbologu and I'm a second year economics student at the University of Liverpool. I'm currently looking for a placement year, so this is the series where I share all the tips and tricks I've learned along the way. Welcome to episode 2 of Zero Grounds. Disclaimer, on zero grounds because I haven't yet found a placement, but I will say I've never failed at the application or the interview stage. It's only been the online assessment. So I do think that I'm quite qualified to give a couple of tips today. So these are 8 supercurriculars that I've done to make myself more attractive to employers. I do ask for forgiveness, I'm really ill. I don't know if you can hear, but I did really want to get this done. But I'm on the way to the library. I have so much revision to do. I have exams coming up and I feel like I'm falling behind. I'm going to the library today, so I'm just going to get ready as I'm doing this video. For me personally, I don't actually know what I want to go into yet. So I have a couple options that I'm looking at. I'm looking at branding, marketing and consulting, but I've changed my mind like every 6 months, so I won't be surprised if these don't stick. But at the moment, these are the ones that I'm looking at. So this is what I've done. What I did first of all is write down the attributes that I have that make me suitable for these roles. And then you write down the attributes or kind of soft skills that these roles are looking for. I've written down the attributes that I think I have, which are communication, problem solving, leadership, curiosity, teamwork, creativity, and resilience. The attributes that are needed for someone looking to go into branding are creativity, integrity, adaptability, leadership, collaboration. The attributes of someone wanting to go into marketing are collaboration, adaptability, curiosity, resilience, creativity, innovation, strategic thinking, time management. The attributes of someone looking to go into consulting include analytical thinking, creative thinking, adaptability, integrity, resilience, communication, collaboration, global and cultural awareness, and also kind of awareness in terms of sustainability and ESG, which is something that I am actually interested in. What I did next was kind of cross-check all the ones that they have in common to make sure that I do things that really hit those attributes, but also see if any already link to things that you believe you have. If you believe you have it, then all you need to do is kind of do something that proves you have what you say you have. And you're not gonna have all of them, but it's really important that you just have as many as you can. So looking at these lists, the ones that I decided to kind of highlight are communication, resilience, strategic thinking, which kind of encompasses problem solving as well, curiosity, creativity, collaboration, and then for me personally, I've also put in ESG and kind of sustainability. It didn't really apply to branding and marketing, but it is something that I am passionate about, so I've added that there as well. And now all you have to do is it's not as easy as I'm making it sound, and it does take a while, but you need to try and find supercurriculars or things that you can do at home in your own personal time that demonstrate that you have these attributes that you're saying you have and they are looking for. So the first one is communication. Supercurriculars that I did to show that I am good at communication are, I did tutoring. So I've done tutoring now for many years on and off, maybe since year 10, year 11. I do actually enjoy it. I think it's a really good way to spend my free time, and it feels really rewarding when you've taught someone how to do long division. The next one as well that I did for communication is being a student course rep. So I was an SVR in college, which is a student voice representative, and then I was a student course representative this year actually at university. I now talk about how I can liaison with the director of studies and the students to see what's working well, what's not, asking questions, being able to stand up and talk in front of a group of adults, etc. It doesn't have to be the most elaborate role. The next one is resilience. This came up in quite a few of them. The way that I was shown that I'm resilient is that after first year in the summer, I signed up to be an intern for this company. The role was described as being a marketing intern, but I feel like I was slightly misled. in the sense that I ended up doing door-to-door marketing, because they said you do events and you go to companies and pitch them things, and I was like, okay, that sounds really good, like I should practice that. So I applied for the role and I got the role, and it ended up being door-to-door marketing. So I was in the office at 8 doing pitch practice, learning kind of strategic tips to get them to listen along and let you close. And then at 12 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock, we'd go out into the field and we'd knock on door after door after door. If they don't open, you write it down. If they open and you present, you write it down. And we would go until 8:30 in the night, well, in the evening. And I would do this 6 days a week. I only did it for 2 weeks. I literally couldn't hack it. But that's why it was meant to be for the whole summer, but in my CV I would just write internship, and it was 2 weeks, and it sounds like a 2-week internship. To be honest, I couldn't hack it. I had a trip later, so I told them I'd do my trip and then I'd come back, and I just couldn't bring myself to go back. But honestly, it taught me so much resilience, taught me so many things about myself. It taught me how to relate to different kinds of people, and just to have a personal conversation with people that realistically I probably wouldn't have spoken to ever if I wasn't doing this. So I do think it was a really valuable experience, and also just teaching you how to, because honestly there would be full days where I'm doing this for 8 hours and I've not made a single sale. So I guess that is the resilience part, that you need to keep your attitude up and just keep going. That's what I've got for that. But there's probably loads of things that could show your resilience. You could talk about how you decided to pick a really tricky module and you persisted in it. That shows resilience, instead of dropping it and picking something easier. The next one I've got down is strategic thinking. So the way that I've displayed my strategic thinking is by joining a society called Enactus, which is a charity society, and we work with breaking barriers for the youth, kind of getting them into post-16 education and teaching them about employability and applying for uni and things like that. So when I signed up to do this club, me and another girl volunteered to be the leaders of the finance and fundraising team. I've just blown my nose and like wiped off half of this makeup. But yeah, me and another girl end up volunteering to be the leaders of the finance and fundraising team, which I think is, well, it shows that you've got good leadership skills. You don't have to say, it wasn't like I stood up and presented, this is why I want to be leader, I just volunteered and I got it. You don't have to tell them that, and it's really good that you can show you've been in a position of leadership. And then in terms of strategic thinking, so we wanted to organise a bake sale, but no one actually wants to bake. None of us are really bakers. We're all kind of like, I study econ, a lot of people study business management, international relations, so we're not really bakers, and we're kind of flooded with upcoming exams and things. So I was like, why don't we, instead of buying Audi cakes, because who wants to buy, like, I don't want to sell cakes that we've bought from the local store and upsell it for £2 per piece when the whole pack was 50p. It feels very dishonest. So we wanted them to be homemade, but no one actually wants to make the cake. So I suggested that we teamed up with Bake Sock, who sell tickets every week, and if you buy their tickets you get to come and bake. So they buy the ingredients for you, you bake something, and then you get to take it home. So I suggested that we buy out the tickets for Bake Sock, and ask them to request for experienced bakers, so you get to bake for free. You don't get to keep the cakes, but we'll post you on LinkedIn, you can put it on your CV as being charitable. Bake Sock also looks really charitable for teaming up with us, and they don't lose any money because we're paying for their tickets. We thought that if they were stubborn, we could like throw in an extra 5% or something. But yeah, this was a good example of strategic thinking. There's a problem, we want to do a bake sale, we don't want to buy cheap cakes, we don't want to bake, what can we do about it? And I solved the problem. The next one is curiosity. So this came up in both marketing and consulting, which I probably put a bit higher than branding for me. I thought it was really important that I would be able to display this. The ways that I have shown that I have been curious would include learning languages. I know it's not a very big one and everyone hates Duolingo for this reason, and this reason. But it makes me feel like I'm being productive when I up my streak every day. And also there's another app called Drops, in which I'm learning Igbo because my parents decided not to pass it down to me. And I would hate to be the last of my generation that can speak my mother tongue. So I'm learning Igbo as well. Oh my god, look at that shine. The other way that I've demonstrated my curiosity is by, well, first of all, I picked a module in Python over diversion, equity and inclusion. Even though I know I'd be great at it and I'd probably find it really easy, I've always wanted to learn how to code, and I thought, what better way to teach myself to code than pick a module where I have to learn it because I'm going to be examined in it. But on top of that, I signed up for extra Python classes just so that I wouldn't fail, because at the end of the day, I've never done this before and I'm being examined and it goes towards my final grade and I want to do well. So I picked up some extra classes. But yeah, I guess it's a way of satisfying my curiosity. I want to learn how to code. I'm gonna learn how to code, even though it's not part of the course or it's not something that I have to do. The next one is ESGs, sustainability and kind of cultural awareness. Even though this isn't one that's really required from all of them, it's something that really interests me and I would kind of like to work in that sector. So I kind of tend to apply for jobs that mention it in some way, or companies that have that sort of awareness. So the things that I have done for this would be, first of all, so I learned about sustainability in college, as you all do. It was part of our PSE, and learning about the UN and what they're doing to kind of promote businesses to improve it. And from there, in college, there was an opportunity, in university, there was an opportunity to go to Amsterdam to learn about why they're so sustainable, their initiatives, how they get the public involved. And it's often ways that benefit the public and is sustainable at the same time, which I thought was really interesting. First of all, we had to do, I think it was an online course that probably took me about 4 months to complete. And then we did 1 week of intense training and lessons and lectures. And then the following week, we got to actually go to Amsterdam and learn about what they do there. And I thought it was so interesting. It was such a good trip. I got a carbon literacy certificate out of it as well, which is a really good thing that I get to put on my LinkedIn and it's on my CV. But it's always something I can talk about. And I think it's really important that anything you say you're interested in, you've done something that actually demonstrates that you're interested, you know? So it's really good that I'm able to talk about it and not just say, oh, I'm passionate about sustainability and have nothing to back it up, you know? So if you're gonna make a claim, come with evidence. I would also say the whole Amsterdam sustainability thing kind of ties me with curiosity. Like, I was interested in it, so I went out of my way to kind of find out more, you know? The last one would be collaboration. Collaboration actually comes up in all of them. It was only when I was making this video that I realized I don't have an example that only falls under collaboration, so it doesn't really have its own one. But I would say that loads of the ones that I do are kind of collaborative. I'm a global ambassador at university, so I'll do desk shifts mostly. However, there'll be times where we have to do a tour for international students, or we have to do an open day, and we kind of have to work with other members of the team. So that is quite collaborative. But I would say other examples would include, you can literally say group work that you've done, or a group project, or anything that you've done with another group of people, and it can even be for fun, but it shows that you're collaborative. I have also put being a student course representative, just because a lot of things we do involve collaboration. Like, we have a project coming up where in teams of 2 we need to think of an enhancement project to improve the student experience of people in the management school. So that is quite collaborative. I mean, in Actus as well, like being in a group of people where we're putting together fundraisers with the marketing team and this team and that team, that is also collaborative. I just felt like they all fitted better under other titles, but honestly, like, you can use everything for collaborative. Collaboration kind of falls under everything, and this is definitely shown in my CV. Like, most of the roles that I'll put, I've done this so and so and so, develop my collaboration, or develop my team building skills, or develop my teamwork skills. Like, that might be a little bullet point under most of the different roles that I've done. I was actually thinking about doing some CV tips because I've been to my career studio a lot. I think there was a period of 2 weeks where I went like 6 times in the 2 weeks. So my CV is like pretty good now. And even though I'm still looking for a placement, I have never failed at the initial application. My CV is on point. If you think you would be interested in some CV tips, give this video a like and comment down, and I will have that posted for you guys. I actually did forget this one. I was saving it for last and then it just slipped my mind. But the last one would be creativity. This appears as a desirable attribute for marketing and branding. So I always felt like I'm quite a creative person. I do crochet as a hobby on and off when I have time. Just like random different things, but they're often things that will last, you know, maybe 2-3 months, and I'll get bored and like stop doing it. And I don't want whatever I'm saying on my CV to become outdated in 2 months because I've stopped doing that hobby or stopped doing that creative thing. So the new creativity thing that I've taken up that I'm hoping that I will continue doing is YouTube. It kind of shows that I'm good at editing and I can speak for a prolonged amount of time and also being creative in terms of coming up with video ideas. So yeah, this is my new proof to show that I can be creative in case marketing is what I decide to go into, which is kind of why I started this channel. So if you would like to support me by validating my creativity, be sure to like, subscribe and watch some more videos. If you do loads of creative things, I don't know, acting, drama, graphics, all of those are really creative and you're probably better at sustaining them than I am, but hopefully YouTube is something that can stick for me. I am creative and I want to be able to prove that I am, so yeah. Okay, so I think that concludes all of the supercurriculars that I've done that show that I have these attributes. I hope that some of them are ones that you can kind of implement into your uni life or give you a bit of inspiration as to what you can do to prove that you are all the things you say you are. But thank you so much guys for watching and staying till the end. I hope you have a really productive day and I'll see you in the next video.